على ورسوله سيدنا ونبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت ويسر أسباب الهدى بين أيدينا واجعلنا ممن اخترتهم لطاعتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Tonight we're going to have like an open discussion, a little bit like that, and we need to talk about the Halloween. As you know, this is the day of it. Got it? I prefer if we have somebody can share the Khatirah with me to give more information about this one. One of the youth can do that, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or two, or three, or four. Okay. Now, I'm going to put the rules, and then we're going to see who can help. Any kind of festival in Islam, any kind of festival or celebrating anything in our deen depends on three things, as we said. Do you still remember that? What is the first one? Source, performing, results. Got it? We have three words. The first one is the source of that celebration. Got it? What is the source of the Halloween? Okay. Okay. I don't need maybe. I need the facts. Here you go. خلاص, done. Okay, what is the source of that? We are talking about the starting that one. Why? Now. Devils? Okay, what about you? Evils, beings, what? Okay. Dead. Okay. It means I have three words I hear right now. Devil, evil, dead. Which one of them, a good word, we can celebrate? None of them? None of the above. Okay, now, Bismillah. We need to learn, okay, Amr, we need to learn when we can talk. Done. Got it? The source of that action or that one, it's coming from respecting devils. Do we respect devil? Okay. How we consider the devils? Like friends or enemies? Okay. Ammu, sit down. Okay, we are considering them as enemies. Who told us to consider the devils as the enemies? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have ayahs in the Quran telling us that إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ فَاتَّخِذُوهُ عَدُوًّا. Got it? Okay, let us move to the second point. The performing. How is the people performing that celebration? تفضل. It's not the only one. Okay, what about them? Costume? Okay. Decorating the houses with good things or scary things? Scary things? Okay. Let us come to this point. Sorry for that. Let us come to this point. Sit down, Yama. The scary in itself. The Islam asks us to scare anyone, to make anyone scared. Okay. What is the mission? We said, what is the mission of the Islam? To make the people to be happy and make everybody around us be happy. Got it? Okay. It means once we are celebrating the Halloween, we are going against what our Islam asks us to do. Am I right with that? Okay, this is for the performance. And the results, what is the results of that? Let us back to the first point. When the Islam made to us the two festivals or the two Eids in our deen. The first one is Eid al-Fitr. The second one is Eid al-Adha. What is the reason of the first one? The reason of the first one, we are celebrating our fasting. It means we are considering about the ibadah, the worshipping of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It means the source and the reason of the Eid is ibadatullah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Got it? Can we celebrate with the people they already worshipping the devil? Does that make sense, ya shabab? It doesn't make any sense. It means we need to think about the issue with a different way. I really appreciate somebody came to me and he asked, can I go tomorrow to ask the people the leftover, right? The candy, what they have, the left, they already done, but they still have something. I asked him, what are you gonna do? He said, I'm gonna sell it. Sell it. Hey. He's talking about the money. Bismillah. Bismillah. You know why I respect that question? Because he come to ask about halal or haram. Is that permissible or not? In my humble opinion, I don't recommend that. But we're talking about somebody coming to ask, is that allowed? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gonna allow that, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not allow that? This is the main issue in our entire life. If that gonna be allowed, permissible by Rabbil Alameen subhanahu wa ta'ala, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or will not be permissible by Rabbil Alameen subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, the candy, we can eat it in a different time. Bismillah. Don't connect between the candy and the same day. You can eat the candy anytime. Got it? And you can eat the candy at the masjid or your home, whatever. But don't put your mind, you're eating a candy because of the Halloween. You are eating candy because it's a candy. It's just something for fun. Not because of this is the Halloween and we have to. This is the one. Subhanallah, another point. Somebody asked me about eating candy in itself. Okay, sometimes the eating candy in itself is halal or haram? Halal. But as we said, Bismillah, Mustafa, as we said, sometimes when we do the halal thing in a wrong time, it will not be a clear halal. I don't want to say it's going to be haram, but I'm saying, concentrate with me. I'm saying it will not be a clear halal. It means we're going to have a kind of doubtness at that time. Half and half, We're talking about the milk here. Okay, not like that. But at least it's going to be not a clear halal. And we don't ماشي مكروهة. إيه المفتين الجامدين دول؟ حاجة جامدة جدا. Okay, it means we don't need to do something not clear halal. Got it? Okay, this is my message to you. Do you have anyone wants to add anything from the youth? تفضل. تفضل تعال هنا. Come here.
Like for performance, I want to add something for performance, like it's also wasting pumpkins because you just get a pumpkin and carve it into faces, just leave it there. The pumpkin just dries out and you just waste it.
شكرا للنصيحة نورت المحكمة. Okay. تفضل. Do you have something from the youth? I need الناس الكبار يتكلموا شوي. If we have. Iyad, you have something to say? تعال هنا. تعال هنا. 3, 2, here. Just give them advice. Any advice. أي advice about anything.
والله حضرتك
قول للناس انت وقفت على النص خلاص.
بس ينفع طب حاضر ماشي طيب. والله انت هتخلص يا طب انا اقول ايه؟ انت حضرتك قلت كل حاجه.
بسم الله. اي حاجه كلهم نورتونا ونورينا اللي اي حاجه.
طب انا اقول انت حضرتك اتكلمت على
اتكلم عن اي موضوع تاني اي حاجه تاني. Just give them advice. If you want to advise those people.
Oh yeah, maybe they're gonna put drugs in the candy so do not eat.
Oh. Wow, this is another issue. This is the important thing. By the way, why not? Yeah. Nobody knows. Okay, here you go. Okay, he said some of the candy, maybe it has a gelatin or something like that. Okay, guys, I think you get the message. جزاكم الله تعالى. نعم تفضل. تعال هنا تفضل. Okay, what is the niyyah behind that? If the okay, did you hear Ammu, what he said? If the children come into the homes, to ask candy, do we allow to give them? Okay, the question here, what is the intention behind that? To giving them, to just showing them we are okay with everybody and we are like a modern people and we have no problem. And usually the children not understanding that concept, just coming to knock the door and you are a good man if you're going to answer them. Okay, do we be okay? Is that better to open the door aslan to show them we are here or not? Usually we're not opening the door. Usually, and I'm talking about myself, I'm not opening the door. Nobody's seeing me. Usually I'm going out of the home to do something. Just for example, once they're gonna knock the door, they will not find anybody else. Nobody said no, nobody said yes. Nobody gave, nobody doubted. No problem. If you have something, just this is another issue, and personally, I do recommend that, especially with the people they don't believe in. Anyway, I do recommend. Anyway, طيب تفضل. As we said, depends on your intention why you're doing that and why you're doing that in the same day. We can do that in the other place, in the other time. Okay? Let us finish that one. تفضل.
Assalamu alaikum. So I have a question for all the kids here. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam alayhi salam, what was the first thing he commanded the angels to do? To bow down to Adam alayhi salam. So who refused? Shaitan, right? Iblis, correct. So Iblis refused to bow down to Shaitan, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expelled him from where? He was really honored. He was honored amongst all of the devils. He was somebody who was really honored. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given him a high place in paradise. So he was expelled from there because he refused to bow down to Adam alayhi salam, which is proof that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam, which is us human beings, as what are we? Are we the best creation or are we the worst creation? Best creation, right? So by dressing up as shayateen or dressing up as monsters or devils, who are we honoring? We are honoring the worst of creation. We're honoring the enemy of Allah, Adubullah, Shaitan, right? So definitely, like when we think about it, we think about Halloween, we go like, okay, we're gonna dress up in costumes, we're gonna scare people. First of all, it's a waste of money. And Islam does not allow us to waste money on things which are, first of all, forbidden. And secondly, it's that money can go to children who are literally, they're suffering. They don't have food to eat. Look at the children in Gaza. They're living a horror story every single day. And over here, we're celebrating something which is a pagan festival. Do you know what a pagan festival means? What does it mean? Correct. So paganism is to worship other deities other than Allah. It doesn't have any monotheism. Monotheism means the worship of only one God, which Muslims believe, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And paganism means to worship multiple gods, worship shayateen, worship devils, and all these other beings that as Muslims, we deny that. So this Halloween, the basis of Halloween, it was a pagan festival somewhere in Europe. And what they would do is that they would make sacrifices to shayateen. They would bring children, they would bring animals, and then they would dress up as these devils and say, okay, we honor you devils, so you guys can give us something in return. So it had become a festival that they would do every single year. They'll catch children, literally they would take children and put them into like cages, sacrifice them in front of their shayateen, just so that the devils can do something for them in return. So definitely, like what the Sheikh just said here, we should not even think about participating in something which is not a part of our deen. Any questions from the kids? Go ahead.
So why dress about like devils and other stuff. Like, why is it about that?
It's about that because they want to honor the devil. So as Muslims, why do we wear good clothing, especially on Yom Jummah, like when it's Friday? Why do we wear nice clothes? Because we're visiting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's house. We want to dress up nicely. We want to respect Allah's house. The Prophet ﷺ used to do that, so we want to follow that example. So do we follow an example which is good, or do we follow an example which is bad? Good. Exactly. You follow a good example. All right. Jazakallah khair.
Okay. جزاكم الله خيرا. That's enough. الله يجزيك الخير عمر. Thank you عمر. Okay. جزاكم الله تعالى خيرا. بارك الله سبحانه وتعالى فيكم. سلام الله عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.